We now know the list of potential witnesses in former President Trump's hush money trial. Among those are adult film actress Stormy Daniels, who received payments from Michael Cohen to keep quiet in the days leading up to the 2016 election. Cohen is also on that list of potential witnesses. Jury selection is set to begin on Monday. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates has been closely following this case. And Graham, it appears the star witnesses could be Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen. What do you expect their testimony to look like?
Well, they're really the two people at the center of this whole case, other than, of course, former President Donald Trump. The allegations are at its core that Michael Cohen paid on Donald Trump's behalf $130,000 to Stormy Daniels in the days before the 2016 presidential election in order to secure her promise that she would not tell an allegation of an affair with Donald Trump. And then the charges in the case are about Donald Trump's repayments or reimbursements to Michael Cohen in the year plus that followed. What prosecutors say is that along every little kind of granular moment along the way when Cohen was being repaid in monthly installments, they were made and designed to look like they were payments for ongoing legal services so that it would not be clear that they were actually reimbursements for this hush money payment.
And Graham, two of the potential witnesses are connected to an alleged what's called catch and kill scheme, where they tried to suppress allegedly negative stories about Trump. Walk us through what their role in the trial could be.
Sure. So these two people, they were executives and an editor for the National Enquirer and its parent company. And when prosecutors tell the story of this case, they're actually going to start with a payment that happened before the Stormy Daniels one. And that was to a former Playboy model named Karen McDougal, who had a similar story of an alleged affair with Donald Trump. What happened was, according to prosecutors, the National Enquirer had reached an agreement with Trump to catch stories, salacious stories about Trump, and often pay in order to buy the source's silence and then kill those stories, never actually publish them. And one person, Karen McDougal, who we're expecting to be also a witness in this case, will tell about how she and her attorney approached the National Enquirer with her story, secured payment for it, and then the story was never published. And then and we'll hear from the National Enquirer executive, the former CEO, David Pecker, who had a meeting with Trump and many phone calls to discuss that story and other ones. And we'll hear from an editor at the National Enquirer, potentially, named Dylan Howard, who was involved in the kind of back and forth between the two sides. And then we'll also hear about their involvement in at least putting in connection Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels' lawyer, who had also represented Karen McDougal.
All right, Graham, while we have you, there is a hearing today in the classified documents case against the former president. What should we expect there?
Yeah, so he's actually not there. It's a non-evidentiary hearing where they're kind of working through some of the incremental updates in that case. And right now, that case is kind of on a little bit of a hiatus while they work out a variety of issues related to scheduling. And while in a broader sense, in Trump's federal cases, we gear towards the April 25th Supreme Court hearing where they'll consider presidential immunity for his defense in one of the other federal cases he's in.
All right, Graham Cates reporting for us. Graham, thank you.